Philippine Coast Guard spokesperson for the West Philippines Sea, J. Tariela, says China violated international rules to prevent maritime collisions during PCG's 9-day patrol in Bajo de Masinloc. In a public briefing on Monday, Tariela says PCG monitored 4 Chinese Coast Guard vessels and 4 Chinese maritime militia boats near the BRP Teresa Magbanwa throughout its patrol from February 1 to 9.
In this 9 days na maritime patrol, we experience shadowing activities from the Chinese Coast Guard. As a matter of fact, we listed more than 40 times. When you say shadowing, ito yung dinidikitan nila tayo. Although the closest distance na ginawa nila sa atin is around 176 meters.
Tariela adds that China violated the Convention on the International Regulations for Preventing Collision at Seas.
They also cross our bow. Ibig sabihin, tumawid sila sa harapan natin 2 beses. This is in violation of COLREGs, the international regulations on prevention of collision.
Despite this, Tariela says the mission was still a success, adding that the PCG was still able to conduct their patrols and secure the Filipino fisherfolk in the area. China has continuously encroached upon Philippine waters despite the Permanent Court of Arbitration rendering their claim baseless. Justice Secretary Jesus Crispin Remulla orders the National Bureau of Investigation to conduct a thorough investigation on several bomb threats that hit various national and local government agencies and local government units on Monday. In a statement, Remulla warns those behind the threats that the agency will not tolerate such acts and will go after them with the full extent of law. Early on Monday, February 12, the Department of Environment and Natural Resources Central Office was gripped by a bomb scare, which resulted in the early stoppage of its operations. The DENR disclosed that the Explosive Ordnance Division of Quezon City Police District is investigating the circumstances surrounding the incident. Aside from the DENR, San Marcelino Public Information Office revealed through an online post that the Department of Education Division Office in Bataan received information that some schools within the province received a bomb scare. This resulted in DepEd issuing a memorandum suspending classes in Bataan amid the ongoing inspection of authorities within the areas or schools concerned. Bataan Police Provincial Office says its Provincial Explosive and K9 Unit is already conducting a thorough assessment within government agencies of the municipality who also received the threat. On the other hand, the local government of Iba Zambales suspended classes in public and private schools and work in all government offices within the municipality after it received a bomb threat earlier on Monday. Authorities say the bomb threats were sent via email which was signed by a certain Takahiro Karasawa, who is allegedly a Japanese lawyer and a highly knowledgeable bomb maker. In his email, Karasawa claimed that bombs would rock major government agencies in the country at approximately around 3:34 p.m. on February 12. The Armed Forces of the Philippines says one of the suspects allegedly behind the Mindanao State University bombing attack last December 3 was killed during a military operation in Lanao del Sur in January. In a statement, AFP confirmed the death of Kadapi Mimbesa, alias Engineer, following a clash between the Philippine Army's 103rd Infantry Brigade and the Dawla Islamia members in Lanao del Sur on January 25 to 26 this year. The AFP did not specify how many were killed during the operation, but reported it seized the 9 high-powered firearms, a bandolier, 4 two-way radios, and a smartphone. Meanwhile, AFP Chief of Staff General Romeo Bronner Jr. calls on the remnants of the group to surrender in order to avoid facing the same fate of their dead comrades. Another framer of the 1987 Constitution is turning down moves to amend its economic provisions. During the hearing of Senate Subcommittee on Constitutional Amendments and Revision of Codes, Dr. Bernardo Villegas says there is no need to amend the charter at this point as efforts to revise the country's principal law veer the government leaders away from more pressing national concerns such as poverty that has been weighing down many Filipinos.
Right now, we should have a single-minded focus on the scandal that we have 21% of our population living in dehumanizing poverty. That's a scandal because all of our neighbors in Southeast Asia have single-digit poverty incidents. And how do we approach this problem? As I see it, there are 2 major challenges to this administration. And I'm glad that the focus, at least in theory, is being made.
Later in the hearing, Senator Sonny Angara asked Villegas when was the right time to amend the 37-year-old Constitution, to which Villegas replied,
If the President is able to achieve those two targets, bring down the poverty incidence to single digit, which Secretary Balikasan is always saying, that by 2028, we will see a single digit.
Meanwhile, retired Senior Associate Justice Antonio Carpio says the proponents of People's Initiative shouldn't blame the restrictive economic provisions of the Constitution as the reason behind the low foreign direct investments. Carpio identified that the country is getting little FDIs due to the high cost of power, bureaucratic regulation, and inadequate infrastructure. The retired magistrate emphasized that the national government should focus on the real causes of low FDIs as the problem does not lie in the 1987 Constitution. Some members of the House of Representatives urged former President Rodrigo Duterte and ex-Speaker Pantaleon Alvarez to abandon their push for an independent Mindanao. House Assistant Majority Leader and Lanao del Sur Representative Zia Adyong says Mindanao has long been part of the nation and contributes significantly to the country's identity through its rich cultural heritage and diverse population. Adyong adds that the attempt to separate Mindanao from the Philippines is unconstitutional and a disrespect to our duly constituted authority. The representative further says that Duterte, Alvarez, and their supporters should abandon their divisive agenda and work towards strengthening the bonds of unity and cooperation among Filipinos. One rider of party list Representative Ramon Rodrigo Gutierrez also pointed out that the proposal for the secession of Mindanao was against the Constitution, adding that the move would have adverse effects to the economy. Meanwhile, La Union Representative Francisco Paulo Ortega V also opposed to the proposal, saying it is crucial to uphold the unity and integrity of the nation. In January, Duterte said local political forces would regroup in the Davao region to start a movement for Mindanao's independence. He also announced that ex-Speaker Alvarez will spearhead the movement.